Right. So you think they may be anything? No. Right here.
Yes, ma'am.
Stop.
Bring the jury in. Yeah.
You can pretend like we're in the South. Because that's what they do. They let you take your jacket off.
Whatever. No, what, yeah, like we're in Florida as well. Okay, very good. That's all right. All right. You don't want to take your jacket off? Okay.
So before we turn the lights off, I wanted to ask some other questions, whenever you're ready.
Go ahead. Before you cut the lights off, you want to ask?
I want to ask a few more prefatory questions. Lieutenant Powell, the timing that we see on Officer Melendez's video, did you have an opportunity to compare that to whether or not it was real time or whether or not the timing was somehow skewed?
No, because I didn't copy the videos or download the videos. The person that would do that would probably be that person, because all I did was watch the videos as I got them. I had no way to compare the times.
Okay, certainly you did pull records. They call them CAD records. What are CAD records?
I guess they have.
If you don't know them.
Okay. I don't know.
But you did pull CAD records.
I requested those, yes.
And those records would have a time reflected on them.
Yes.
And those times would probably be more accurate than what we see on the video.
I don't know how they're calibrated. I don't know how that works.
Okay. There is no evidence, is there, in this case, that anybody turned their microphone off or manipulated or broke something so that it wouldn't record what was there?
No.
You're aware of the fact that the city of Inkster has budget problems and that they've had trouble with equipment and expenses as it relates to police enforcement?
Yes, I am aware of that.
Okay. And there were some cars that had equipment on it that was not working that night.
Yes.
And you actually, one of the things you did when you first got started was go out and verify that.
I had it checked, yes.
Okay. And you were satisfied that there was no tampering with any of the cameras or whatever?
Yes.
Okay. Now, we saw a lot of police officers there. Tell me what happens when a police department has a broadcast, one fighting.
Whoever is available, who's listening, comes, responds.
And when you
What
hear
does the one fighting refer to?
The officer, that they were fighting with a subject.
Okay. It don't mean that one civilian was fighting. It means the one is reflective of the officer.
Well, it depends on their dialogue with each other. Because
But is that what you understand?
when I understand it to be that one is fighting, one suspect is fighting.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And when somebody says step it up, why is that?
What does that mean they do?
A sense of urgency. Did they need help?
Because of a potential for danger.
Yes.
Okay. Now, did you time the amount of time that it was from the first time? Let me preface this. We saw a slowed down version of Officer Melendez striking Mr. Dent in the head.
Yes.
Okay. In that slowed down version, it was slow motion, and it took quite a bit of time for that to play out.
Yes.
Do you recall, do you know how much time it took for Officer Melendez to strike Mr. Dent from the beginning until the end?
No. But if you play it, we can work it out.
We're going to do it.
Okay.
All right. But Would you agree with me that in the video that we all saw, that Officer Melendez did stop striking him in the head?
Did stop?
He stopped?
Yes.
Okay. Will you agree with me that Mr. Dent continued to struggle after even that?
No.
Would you agree with me that it was after that that he...
Oh, I'm sorry. I am. Yeah.
You have to agree.
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, yeah.
That's right.
I get it. I get it.
It was after that that Sergeant Kreitzer had tased him.
After the strikes, yes.
Yes. After Officer Melendez had stopped striking.
Stop striking them, yes.
And there was a time frame between that, between the time frame that Officer Melendez stopped striking him and Officer Kreitzer used the taser, that Mr. Dent continued to struggle.
Yes.
Okay. What is the danger that's posed when one is struggling to get up and get away?
If somebody is struggling to get up,
And get away?
You-
What's
you-
the danger posed, if any?
if he has weapons, doesn't have weapons, I don't, that's kind of broad and ambiguous.
Okay, but, I mean, we're looking for potential. The potential for the person to get away,
Yes.
would you agree?
Yes.
The potential for the person to get back into the car and flee?
Yes.
Potential to flee at great speeds and cause harm to other people?
Anything could happen.
Innocent bystanders might be involved if the guy is speeding away and that without any caution or care
Yes.
in an effort to get away.
Yes.
All of those things could happen. Access to a weapon, access to the potential evidence, potential for danger or harm to other people. All of those things exist. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And a reasonable officer, would you agree, would have those things in his mind when the person is continuing to struggle. Would you agree?
If you're talking broad, if you're talking about this, no.
Well, you can't tell what Officer Melendez was thinking.
Okay.
But you can say broadly what a reasonable officer might think.
Yes.
And
Yes.
would you agree that a reasonable officer might think danger to himself and to others,
Yes.
destruction of evidence,
Yes.
get a weapon and injure himself or somebody else,
Yes.
and maybe even the police officer.
Yes.
So when a person is struggling, it's not just a matter about struggling, it's about what could happen.
Yes.
And police officers are trained in what could happen.
Yes.
Okay, now, we saw Mr. Dent in the lockup. We saw those videos.
Yes.
While he's in the lockup, there's nothing that we saw with Officer Melendez in any of those views.
Not in the booking cell.
No, what we saw what the jury saw.
What the jury saw in the cell, no.
Okay, in the cell, when he was brought in, when he wiped his face off, all of those things that we saw, Officer Melendez wasn't around at that point.
Not in that view of the video.
No, he was in the station, no question about it, right?
Right.
You knew he was generating a report because his report is dated.
Well, just because it's dated, that doesn't mean that's when it was finished.
Okay.
So I don't know anything. I just know what I saw on the video.
And what you didn't see is Officer Melendez, is that correct?
In that cell, no.
Okay. Now, you saw Mr. Dent complying at that time.
Yes.
Okay. You can't say, well, we did see him out on the street and we saw what we saw, right?
Yes, we saw what we saw.
Okay. And as it relates to what happened when he got to the hospital or whatever else he did, you can't testify and we don't have a video.
No.
Okay. Were you aware that blood was drawn?
Yes.
Were you aware of Mr. Dent in the hospital?
Yes.
Were you aware that it was drawn at 3:59?
If it's on the paper, yes.
Okay, you want me to show it to you to refresh your
That's
recollection?
fine. I can actually get it out of here.
Okay.
Okay.
You might have a better copy now.
That stipulates the admission of the report.
Okay.
Objection, do you want to receive the report, or do you just want to refresh your record?
Well, I'm going to make it Exhibit A.
Okay, make it Exhibit A, and the clerk will receive it in absence.
We're
Do you
talking
have
about
it
the
now?
toxicology.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Talking about the report related to the blood draw.
Yes, sir, I have it.
Yeah, you see it? No, don't take it out.
Okay, just, yep, right here, alcohol.
That's the one.
Yep.
It is a document that's entitled Alcohol and Drug Determination.
Yes.
Defendant's Exhibit A, Your Honor.
For the receiver.
Okay.
Can I see it?
You may proceed.
Thank you, ma'am. Referring to that Exhibit A, were you aware that there was a search warrant that was requested by Officer Melendez for the blood of Mr. Dent?
Yes.
Were you aware that that warrant was executed while he was still in the hospital?
Looking at the dates, yes, I would have to figure that that's what happened.
And was in fact blood drawn, according to Exhibit A, on January 29th at approximately 3:58 or 3:59
A.M., yes.
a.m.,
Yes.
which would have been maybe 4 hours after midnight
Correct.
on the night, the day after he was arrested, the night after he was arrested at 10 o'clock.
Correct.
Okay, now, from your investigation, you knew that he was...
Thank you so much. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
You knew that he was in custody ultimately at the hospital,
Yes.
and it was at Garden City Hospital,
Yes.
and that there were officers who were there,
Yes.
and that he was requested to submit for a blood analysis, and blood was drawn.
Yes.
Was there a problem with the blood draw?
Do you know?
No.
Just ask if she has personal knowledge of any.
Do you have it?
No, I don't.
Okay, here you go.
In your
Can we get this from
investigation,
another witness?
Judge, this goes to the issue. Is there a notation on that record that talks about Mr. Dent and his behavior at the hospital at the time that blood was drawn?
We don't know what the source was.
I think we absolutely know who the source is.
No, we know who wrote it down, we don't know who said it.
Wait. Is this contained in document?
Judge, this is in the alcohol and drug screen determination document. It's in the document itself that he stipulated that would be admitted.
I stipulated to its admission, not the authenticity of the opinion that's placed on that. There's a note from the doc, she can read it in, I'm fine with that. Okay?
That's fine.
What I'm saying is that witness did not speak with personal knowledge and he has not shown that she did. That's my
Well, it's
exact.
also wait not a minute ago, it's already been a minute. Go ahead.
Is there a notation under comments by the medical person who had taken the sample, Cynthia Rich?
Yes.
And what does she say?
Agitated, combative.
Okay. Now, one last question before we go to the video, and that is this. When police officers approach a vehicle, is there a protocol for whether or not they should have a weapon or their hands on a weapon?
Well, that's kind of broad, because
Okay.
our orders say one thing.
Well, you're a Michigan State police officer.
Yes.
I'm talking about Inkster now.
Okay.
Do you have knowledge to answer that question?
No, I don't.
Okay, here you
All
go.
right. All right. Let's go to the video.
Okay.
All right. Now,
Cut the lights off.
try and get this done in a half an hour, Judge.
Here's trying.
All right. Lieutenant Powell,
Yes,
this
sir.
video is a complete video from, well,
What exhibit is this?
It's already been admitted as Exhibit 1.
this is Exhibit 1. The jury was shown parts of Exhibit 1 from the time in which Officer Melendez's car comes up to Mr. Dent's vehicle, correct?
Yes.
But you knew, I mean, we all know, strike that.
Don't say
This
you
video is now from the beginning of his surveillance. Would you agree?
Yes.
Okay. And what time are we?
It's at 21:42 and 43 seconds.
9:42:43.
Your Honor, I'm going to object to characterizing at the beginning of the surveillance. There's no,
Same. We don't know what this is the beginning of.
Oh, Judge.
Do you, let me ask this, do you know what this is the beginning of, Madam?
The beginning of his shift.
Okay.
At
Do you
this,
know if it's a surveillance involved?
I'm just asking if she has personal knowledge.
Personal knowledge, do you know?
Not personally, no.
Well, then don't answer.
okay. This is Mr. Melendez's car
Yes,
on Michigan Avenue,
yes.
pointed in a direction, which is what direction?
Can you put your little light on?
Yes, ma'am. This is his patrol car.
Okay.
He's pointed, this is Michigan Ave right here. This is going to be the eastbound side of Michigan.
Yes.
And that's the westbound side of Michigan.
Okay, several
So-
lanes on each side,
Yes,
correct?
yes, multiple lanes on each side.
Okay,
And his vehicle will be pointed north.
all right. Can we continue now until I ask you to stop, Mr. Donaldson? Young Mr. Donaldson? See cars?
Yes.
See vehicles going in the opposite direction now?
Westbound, yes.
Yes. At this point, I'm just going to run this along. You see Officer Melendez's vehicle move, is that correct?
Yes.
And what do you see?
Him pull into the driveway of another motel.
Now, would you agree that this portion of Michigan Avenue is a high crime area?
Do you know?
I don't know.
Okay.
No, I don't know.
Okay.
See those people milling out by the door?
Do you see anybody out there?
I'm looking. This is the door. I see a body, a person right here.
Okay. When the car pulled in, did you see bodies there?
I'm sorry, I didn't. I'm sorry. You could go back, but
And you
I.
Tell us what we're
I'm saying,
seeing.
Mr. Wait a minute, hold up a minute, stop. You see what I'm saying, Mr. Thomas, about having your own person? Then we can focus in on something that you want to. I'm just not. Okay, go ahead.
I'm perfectly satisfied with Mr. Donaldson at this point.
For the record, John Donaldson.
Young Mr. Donaldson. Yes, please continue. I don't, okay, at
Now,
this
where
point
are we
now,
now?
do you see the vehicle in a position to be watching what's going on in eastbound or westbound Michigan Avenue?
Yes,
See cars going by?
yes.
Okay. See cars going in the opposite direction, a little bit darker?
East and westbound, yes.
Okay. Now, this is the vehicle that was occupied by Mr. Melendez and Officer Zelenowski, is that correct?
Yes,
Okay. And this is all before the stop of Mr. Dent?
yes.
Okay. What was the purpose of Mr. Melendez being out there that evening, if you know?
Do you know?
Based on
Do
personal.
you know, madam?
No, I don't.
Well, you talked to a lot of people in this case.
Irrespective of what she said is hearsay, do you know, madam?
Not personally, no.
Okay.
From your view of this as a police officer who's trained in surveillance, does this look like a setup of a surveillance?
Can you say yes or no?
No, I can't say yes or no. I can't say it.
So then,
Okay.
Mr. Donaldson, let's move forward. Let's then go to, where are we now? Go to 214842. 214840.
For the record, right now at 21, 48, and 36.
Go
Okay,
ahead.
that's fine. Okay. Still observing Michigan Avenue, right to left, east to west?
Yes.
Okay.
Is there a hotel, is there anything over there?
Yes.
With that light on?
Yes, I'll
Please,
bring it out.
I'm asking a witness.
Yes.
Where?
These are businesses over here.
Oh, that's a business.
This is business.
Okay, here it is.
Ma'am, on the left is outside of view, but in the view of the person in the car, would there be a hotel or motel?
Yeah, on the left, yes.
And what would that hotel motel be?
The Budget Inn.
The person sitting in the car would have the ability to observe that.
Can you say that, ma'am?
I can't say that because it's so dark. Like,
What if he had binoculars?
That counsel, no.
There's evidence in this case that he
There's
had
no
binoculars.
evidence in this case that anybody had binoculars. Do you know if anybody had binoculars, ma'am?
not independently. It would be reports. It would be something somebody said.
Okay.
So you're not able to tell me anything that was in Mr. Melendez's report?
I can tell if you want me to. I don't.
It's hearsay, sir.
No.
Hearsay,
All right.
sir.
All right. I'm talking about her investigation, her ability to observe.
It's hearsay
Okay.
in the report, in her investigation, and in her testimony.
All right, you see the car move at this point? Can you call out the time, please?
The
Time,
time is 21:50 and 22.
okay, where's the car going? Which
All right.
way?
He's traveling eastbound on Michigan Ave. He takes the Michigan left.
Did you see the lights go on just then?
Lights.
The car lights, yes.
Yes, the headlights. You got to say lights because it's a patrol car.
I don't want confusion. The headlights,
That's
did
what
you
I'm
see them
saying
go
with you,
on?
Mr. Thomas.
Did you see the lights go on?
I saw the headlights go on. Yes.
The person was doing surveillance with the lights be on or off?
Do you know?
Yes, that would be off.
Okay. At this point now, the car appears to be pulled up to the borderline of the city of Inkster. Is that correct?
It's a cutout here. This is
Yes.
Michigan Ave. This is a bus stop here. It's a cutout.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Is that in Inkster or outside? What's that little sign say?
Inkster
So
city
is it
limits.
inside Inkster or outside Inkster where that vehicle stopped now?
Technically, it would be just outside of it.
Okay.
No problem with that. Does he sit here for a little while?
Yes, approximately 5 minutes.
Okay, so let's go 5 minutes forward if we can. I want to go to 21:55.
All right, for the record, this is 21:55 and 7 seconds.
Thank you. Just got a clear view down the west side of Michigan Avenue as far as a person can see in the dark. Officer?
I have no idea what his vision point
What do you
is.
see? Do you see Michigan Avenue?
I see Michigan Ave here, and I see tail lights down there.
Okay, now here's a car going past you, correct?
Yes.
Tell me when you can't see the tail light.
Now they're getting foggy.
Okay, what time?
That is 21:55, 45.
Okay, thank you. See the vehicle pulling off at this point?
Yes, I see the patrol car pulling off.
Which lane is it?
In the far right,
And appear to be going at a somewhat of a clip. Do you see tail lights in front of you?
yes.
Okay. How far out, do you know? Can you tell?
Nope,
Okay, keep an eye on that. See brake lights just then?
nope,
You did not see it get brighter?
no.
Want to take another look?
Sure.
Go back 5 seconds. What did you see just then?
Maybe him hit a bump. I didn't see nothing brightened up.
Okay.
That's still him going straight.
Yeah. See brake lights then?
Nope.
How many times you looked at this video?
Several.
More than 10?
More than 10. It continued to go that way from what I saw.
Okay. Now, stop here. What street are you on?
And for the record, we've stopped at 21:56:38.
Forget the name. Let me, can I look at my report? Because I don't remember the names off the top of my head.
Fairbairn?
Fairbairn, that's correct.
Fairbairn? Okay.
Yeah.
You turned off of Michigan Avenue, turned right on Fairbairn. Is that correct?
Yes.
At this point, what do you see?
Nothing.
You see a street light?
Yeah, I see a couple of street lights.
Okay. Now, can we make it bigger, Mr. Donaldson? All right, let's see now, keeping an eye on the left-hand side of that video,
You want to play it?
please. Okay, where does he turn at this point? Stop.
You got to see this car here now.
Okay.
We
Yeah.
are stopped at 21:56:52.
Okay. Do you agree that that's Mr. Dent's vehicle?
Yes.
Not having been there, you don't know what Officer Melendez saw?
Not at that time. I wasn't there at that time, but I've been down this street.
Okay. And not being there, you don't know what Officer Zielinski saw?
No.
Okay. In any event, now this car is now proceeding somewhat parallel to Michigan Avenue in a westerly direction on what is the name of this street?
Is it Oakwood, Oakland? Oakwood? Oakland or Oakwood? Let me double check.
Can I lead you, ma'am? Oakland Park?
Yes. Thank you.
All right.
Mhm.
You see a street light up there on the top left?
A couple of street lights. You talking about right here?
See one in the middle, Sora?
Right
You
here?
see street lights further going down?
I see street lights down there,
Would
yes.
you agree with me that that street is well lit?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, thank you. Now, Mr. Johnson, can we continue? You see brake lights on and off?
Yep. I'm sorry, yes.
Okay, is this the rolling stop that you were talking about?
No, I think this is a complete stop right here.
See traffic there right
Yep.
in front of that guy?
Uh-huh.
See him? Is he in the intersection at that point? Stop, please.
So it looked like he took off after the cars passed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Was he in the intersection before he took off?
No, it didn't look like it to me. I mean, I can't tell.
All right. Please. See the car continue on?
Yes.
Is there a plate on that car?
I know that it's not. But it's a temporary tag in the window.
You gotta help me out, ma'am. I can't see when you put that light on.
I'm sorry. It's not a registration plate on the back of the
There's
car.
another brake. Is that correct?
Yes.
Is this the rolling stop?
It appears to be yes.
Okay. That'd be a basis upon which you could be given a ticket and stop?
Yes.
See the lights going on at this point now. What time is this?
Yes.
The record on that is at 21:58 in 0 seconds.
Okay. Continue on, Mr. Dawson, please. Okay. See the lights flashing, but then he put his brake lights on?
Yes.
Did you see
See the
him do
brake
that a
lights?
second time?
Yes.
And yet he continues?
Yes, he's
You
rolling.
see the lights overhead? Do you see the street is continuing to be well lit?
Yes.
Did you see him move to the right and then to the center again?
I saw the car wobble, yes, I did.
There could be a lot of different reasons for a car wobbling. Would you agree?
It could be, yeah.
Could it be that he's distracted and moving to the right and he's holding onto the wheel?
It could be a lot of things.
All right, let's stop it here.
And for the record, we're at 21:58 and 39 seconds.
Just so that we're clear, Officer Melendez would have had the ability to stop that vehicle at this point in time, correct?
It would have been a legal traffic stop, yes.
Illegal traffic stop. At this point now, whatever he saw in surveillance is whatever they saw in surveillance. But at this point now, would you expect that the person who was in that car would roll his window down and address the officer as they're approaching?
That's kind of broad.
It is. But let me ask you this.
Okay.
If you're a police officer and you see a door flung open, without asking that it be opened up, now are your antennae quivering?
Oh, you're heightened. Your senses are heightened, yes.
Absolutely. And you would be at that point in fear, would you not, justifiably?
You would be concerned. I mean, you want to give commands. You would be concerned as to why did that door open. Matter of factly, you would, yes.
Well, let's see how the door opens. Okay, at that point, do you see whether or not Mr. Dent has opened the door with his left hand?
You see a hand stretch out with the door, yes.
Okay. Do you happen to see whether or not he then turns and turns to his right?
I don't know if he turned. I see a head bob, but I don't know if he turned. I
Bob to
couldn't.
the right?
I see it bob a little from the headrest. I see it move over a little to the right.
Okay. That's not coming out of the car, is it? Bob and Sue?
I don't know. No, it's not. I mean, I don't know if he moved to the right to get out. I have no idea. I wasn't there.
A reasonable police officer at this point might worry that there might be evidence being moved over to the right. Would you agree?
I don't know where his hands was. I don't know.
Well, if his head bobs to the right, which way do you think his arms are going?
I can't assume that because people rock to the right to get out of a car, so I don't know. I can't assume where his hands is. They might be on the steering wheel. He got a gun pointed at him. I have no idea.
Let's talk about assuming. Are you assuming he's trying to get out of the car at this time?
I'm not assuming anything.
All right. So you see his head go to the right.
I see his head bob to the right, yes.
And it would be consistent on a bob to the right that the arm would be going to the right. Is that correct?
No.
Saying, I'm not allowing that.
Okay. All right, let's go on. Now, at this point, you see Zielinski pulling him out of the car. Is that right?
Yes.
We saw how this was in the slowed down version. Do you see, stop now? Do you see Officer Melendez de-escalate by putting his gun into his right hand holster?
Yes.
Do you see him try to take Mr. Dent to the ground?
I see him take Mr. Dent to the ground,
He's
yes.
sitting on top of him, trying to control his body. Would you agree?
I would agree that he got an
All right.
arm around his neck.
Now, are we going to be seeing from now on, are we going to see a struggle?
Yes, you're going to see, yes, you are.
Okay. Are you going to see Officer Zielinski trying to get Mr. Dent's arm behind his back so that he can handcuff him and neutralize him?
Yes.
He'd be justified in doing that at this point. Would you not agree?
Justified in trying to put his
Trying to handcuff him.
Well, I don't know what all transpired here.
Well, you know what they said, but if a reasonable officer saw somebody doing a furtive gesture,
That's assuming facts, not knowledge.
Same.
well, all right, I'll reserve my cross-examination until after testimony from the defense.
That's fine.
That's fine.
All right.
So you
While
want
we're
to step
here,
down?
no, I'm going to move on to another area. While we're here, the total amount of time it took Officer Melendez to strike Mr. Dent before he stopped. Did you time that?
Let's do it now. Did you?
No, I didn't
Yes,
ask
no.
that it be done, Judge. I want to ask her if she looked at the timing.
Okay.
Because what we did is we saw a slowed down version. I want to see
Did you do
whether
it?
she knew how long it actually was.
Without using the slowed down version?
I don't remember. I mean, I did it, counting the strikes and all of that, but I don't remember the exact time and such.
Okay, very good.
Okay, do you agree that the strikes, some were with the hat on, some were with the hat off?
Yes.
Do you agree that it was approximately 4 seconds?
I don't agree. I don't remember. If you want to play it,
Yes.
let's do
Now
that.
we're going to do it.
Can we do it now?
Yeah.
And for the record, we're at 21:59:02.
Stop it when you hit spot. Or John. Stop.
And
What
that
time
is
are we at?
21:59:09.
Continue. Okay? Stop.
21:59:19.
How many seconds is that?
The first one was 09, right?
Yeah.
Now so that's 10 seconds.
10 seconds. During this period of time, do you see Mr. Dent stop struggling?
I see him resisting the blows.
Okay, do you
That's
see
what I
Officer
see.
Zielinski lose grip on his arm?
Yes.
Do you see him now trying to grab his arm to pull it back behind his back to subdue him?
Yes.
Do you see him continuing to resist at this time?
Stop saying he, please.
I'm
Yes,
sorry,
you
I'm
got
talking
it.
about Mr. Dent.
Okay, very good.
All these were about Mr. Dent, Judge.
Okay.
I see him continue to try to protect his face.
Him being.
Ma'am,
Mr.
do you
Dent.
see him trying to get his arm away from Officer Zielinski?
I see him pull his arm up towards his face.
Okay, do you see him reach his hand up towards Officer Melendez's face in here at any time?
Yes.
Okay. You see him try and move his hand in an abrasive manner against Officer Melendez's face at that time?
No.
Let's now continue, and I want to say 21:59:19, and let's continue. to see how long it takes him to get subdued after Officer Melendez stops. See the handcuffs being put on his left hand?
Yes,
See him pulling it away?
yes.
You see him trying to get his arm up again?
Trying to break free of the chokehold, yes.
And that's off. Ma'am,
Yes,
you see him trying to get his arm away?
yes,
Okay. You see now we're continuing to struggle?
yes.
How many officers are involved now?
2 on top of them,
And there's also 3 others around.
other around,
You
yes.
see somebody trying to grab his feet?
Yes,
And you see another officer coming in to try and assist?
yes,
So now you got a total of 5 or 6 officers trying to get him to subdue. Would you agree?
yes.
Now, do you see him unconscious, or is he continuing to struggle?
He still looked conscious.
I want the time, John, in 1 second. Now,
22:00 and 29 seconds.
would you agree that he struggled for almost 2 minutes there?
Yes,
A 57-year-old man struggled for 2 minutes against 6 police officers?
That assumes facts, not evidence. That's not what it just showed.
No age, we
You
don't
know he was an older guy.
Irrespective, just rephrase.
Well, he
Mr.
also
Donaldson
said there
was-
was 6 people for 2 minutes, and
I
that's
don't
not
think
true
6
either.
people exactly.
Well, it's not. The video is what it is. 6 people were there at the end. Would you agree?
it was,
We're not
it
looking
was,
at, and we're looking at right now.
That's the end.
How many people do you
it's several
see?
people there.
Okay, who do you see? Let's identify them.
Okay, play it, because I gotta,
Who's the big guy with his back to you?
Ratliff.
Okay, who's the guy on the right?
I can't, this guy right here?
Yeah.
This is Trooper Hop.
Who is that just got up?
Which one? They both
On the
all
right.
just got up. On this guy, this is Paul Loudon.
Okay, you're
This
counting
is
right. That's 3.
Randazzo.
Okay.
It's-
You know
it-
Melendez was there, correct? 4.
It looked like about 8 officers.
Okay. Took 8 officers to subdue him. Agree?
Yes or no?
Yes,
Okay. Now, when he was put back on his feet, you didn't see him wobble, did you?
the officers were holding him. I can't tell what he was
He
doing.
wasn't unconscious, was he?
No, he was conscious.
All right. Who is that on the radio?
Officer Zielinski right here.
Okay. Let's now continue forward. I want to go to the issue relating to the search. Okay. That is reserve, or that's Auxiliary Officer Zielinski, correct?
This is
On the right?
Melendez. On the right is Zielinski. He crossed paths here.
Okay. Now, at this point in time, stop please. We just saw Officer Melendez go into the driver's side of the car. Would you agree?
Yes,
All right. He is apparently looking around. Would you agree?
yes,
And you saw Officer Zielinski, his partner, the auxiliary officer, who was also involved in the struggle. He went to the right side. Is that right?
yes.
That was a brief review of what was in the car. Is that right? Tell me,
I saw them briefly in the car.
what would the purpose for that be?
Would be to check for weapons or whatever they were looking for. I mean, if whatever they believe it was in the car.
Would you consider that brief look would have been a thorough search?
Oh, not a thorough search, no.
Would that be a definitive search?
Definitive.
Yeah, search that you could satisfy yourself that you saw anything in the car that was there that you needed to see as a police officer?
Don't answer that question, rephrase, don't say definitive.
I'll stick with thorough. You thought that it was not a thorough search.
The first.
No, that wouldn't be a thorough search of the entire car.
Thorough search would have involved what?
The entire car.
Okay, it would have involved more time, would you agree?
Yes,
It would have involved looking more carefully,
yes,
looking in areas that were very hard to see at a cursory glance.
yes,
Now it's nighttime, right?
yes,
The inside of the car is probably lit if the doors are open, right?
It could be, yes.
But that's not ideal light for a search, would you agree?
Agree.
Okay. You know that procedure would be that if this car was going to be taken in, that it would be subjected to an inventory search later on.
Yes.
Are you aware, in your experience as a police officer, that inventory searches turn up drugs, weapons, contraband that are not found out at the scene?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so now let's continue. All right, who is this here coming forward?
Officer Melendez.
All right, and who is in the front on the left?
Arnica.
Okay, and Ratliff is on the
Ratliff.
Doors
Zielinski.
open and there's Zielinski, correct.
Mm-hmm.
Now, at this point, Michigan State police officers with their pretty ribbons on their pants, they're here.
Yes.
Okay. What do we see now?
We see a trooper drop something, pick it up. We see Arnica picking up a hat and something else. We see Randazzo, Hop, Arnica, Zielinski, I'd say three more troopers.
That trooper on the left with the glasses on is Trooper Craig?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I want to get back to where we're going into the car again. Is there somebody at the door on the driver's side yet?
Not that I see.
Okay. Ratliff does not go in. Does Arnica?
There's Melendez going back into the front side of the car.
When Melendez goes in the car, Arnica's there at the same time. Would you agree?
Yeah, her head is in the car, yes.
She goes in maybe a second or so later, but she's got her face in the car at the same time that he's in there, right?
Yes, they're both in the car.
Okay. She is a new officer, agreed?
Yes,
She was working with Randazzo that night, correct?
correct.
Who's in the car now?
Arnica's still there. I don't know what's going on over here. I don't know if he's still in there or not.
All right, let's look closely on the left then. I mean on the right. We got Zielinski is obstructing our view a little bit, right?
Couple
Here
people.
comes Trooper Craig again on the left. See him?
Yeah, I see. But we're looking on the right, right?
Yes, ma'am. Can't see much because who's there?
It's officers standing there. Loudon, Paul Loudon's there, Zielinski's there. It's bodies back here.
Okay. Arnica is trying to help to get into the trunk, correct?
I see Zielinski back here trying to get in the trunk.
But Arnica was at the front of the car, I guess.
She was at the front of the car in the driver's side door.
Now, if someone's going in the back seat, what would that be for?
Search.
Not looking for any other passengers. Searching for contraband, agreed?
They're searching the car.
Or a weapon?
They're searching the car.
Anything.
It could be anything.
Who's that on the right? Was that Trooper Craig going into the passenger side door at that time? Stop now.
And we stop at 22:04:13.
Can you make it bigger?
Can you go back about 10 seconds? Let's see if you see Trooper Craig on the right. Is that Melendez on the left? I mean on the right? Or no?
I can't. Where on the right? Where?
Okay.
That's Trooper Craig in the back passenger side of the car, the back door.
The back or the front?
The back door.
Okay. At this point, the trunk goes up, correct?
Correct.
At this point, police officers are justified in search of the car completely. Would you agree?
If Mr. Dent's under arrest, yeah, they are justified in doing an inventory search of that vehicle.
Craig now at the back of the car on the driver's side, correct?
I'm sorry, Randazzo right there.
No, but inside the car you got Craig, right?
He's out now. That was Hop right
No,
here.
on the left.
You said on the left, I'm sorry. You tell me the right, the left?
See if we can see his face. There you see him?
Yes,
Okay.
that's Trooper Craig.
Now I want you to focus on the right front of the car for Officer Melendez going into the car, if you can. Whose face is that? You see?
On the right?
Yeah.
This right here?
Yeah.
This is... Somebody walked around. They didn't go in the
There's
car.
a guy
They
with a
walked
short
around.
haircut there. Did you see Officer Craig there at the
That's
door?
Craig, yes.
Okay. And that would be at the front of the vehicle at this point?
Yes, because this is the back door. He went in on the other side of it.
Okay. Now, Officer Melendez has already been in the car on the passenger side, correct?
Yes,
We've already seen that, right?
yes.
Where is he now?
I don't see him.
See these officers that are over here and now approaching the camera?
Yep. Yes, I'm sorry.
Who is that?
This right here is Randazzo. This is Arnica.
Okay. And who is?
That's Melendez.
Okay. Now, at this point, you have slow motion, do you not? Not on this particular one, John, but you've seen slow motion of this.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
You see Officer Melendez reach into his right pocket?
Yes.
Okay. You see him pull out a baggie?
Yes.
You see him show it to Officer Arnica?
Yes.
Okay. She observes it. Now, what do you see him do with that?
He turned his back. I don't know.
Okay, well, continue to watch. Do you see it in his hand? Now, do you see him put it in his pocket? On his
I didn't see it. I couldn't see it in his hand
Back
from the
it up
lights.
again.
See him looking now
Yep.
at a package.
Yep.
You see him showing it to Arnica.
Yes.
Okay. You've seen this package, have you not?
Yes.
That is 6 grams of crack cocaine, is that correct?
I'd stipulate that there was
All right, now
Okay,
stop.
okay.
Did you just see him put something in his right hand?
I saw him put something, yes. I did. I saw him go into his pocket. Yeah.
So record, that's 220739.
Thank you. Did you see anything else in his hands?
Not that I could see, no.
So, what is your logical assumption?
We don't ask witnesses.
Thing
to
for
assume.
thing, that's a jury.
Okay. 1 second, please, Judge.
Okay. We're about to wrap this up today.
Okay. So, Judge, at this point now, subject to what I said I was going to reserve, I'm done. Thank you,
You got some
Lieutenant.
follow-up?
You're welcome,
Go
sir.
ahead, Judge.
Okay, wait a minute, hold on, just wait.
Okay,
Take
okay.
those lights on, you need lights or no?
No, I'm not going to be playing video.
Huh?
We can put them up. I'm not going to be playing video.
Okay, very good, let's do it.
Do you agree words are important in an examination of a witness?
Yes.
You kept hearing the word struggle, is that right?
Yes.
Is what you saw on there a struggle where somebody's fighting?
No.
What would you do, when you hear that word and you describe what you saw, what word would you choose?
What, to describe what I saw?
Yeah.
Somebody trying to break free of a grip and protect their face from being punched.
And you heard words about furtive gestures, you heard that too. Isn't
Yes.
that correct? Do you see anything of the furtive gestures?
I just saw a head tilt, that's it. I couldn't see hands and such.
And we know you can see into the back of that car because we see clear as day that Mr. Melendez go across that car in the morning and when he's looking for the dope to begin with, right?
You see him stretch across the front seat of the car, across the center and back.
So if Mr. Dent was reaching across and putting something down there on the floor, certainly the view would allow you to see that. Would you agree with that?
She wasn't there, she doesn't know what he saw.
All right, I'll withdraw the question. But when Mr. Melendez did it, you saw it, correct?
Mr. Melendez did what? Cross the car?
Yeah, cross
Yes.
the car.
Yes, I did.
Did it really take 8 officers to subdue Mr. Dent?
Objection.
Sustained. That's for the trial fact to make a determination.
Did Mr. Dent ever try to get up and run away?
Objection.
Based on what you saw.
Based off of what I saw, no.
Oh,
Did he ever do anything besides duck and cover?
No.
based on what you saw.
Based off what I saw.
They asked you about Mr. Dent coming to visit me and you and give a statement with his lawyer, is that right?
Yes.
He is still facing criminal charges at that point, is that correct?
Do you know?
I don't remember at what point they were not.
Was that the first time anybody from law enforcement invited him down to talk that you know of, Mr. Dent?
Yes.
So everything that preceded that was based on one side of the story. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
Counsel, I asked you, well, Mr. Dent didn't complain to Inkster. Do you ever see that happen sometimes in cases of allegations of police misconduct?
Yes.
And is there often a hesitancy to complain to the very police department that did that to
The state
you?
of mind of somebody we're not even talking about, we don't know.
Well, you opened the door by asking whether or not something was filed.
That's asking Mr. Dent.
Okay, very good. This is what I'll do. Rephrase.
Okay.
And based on her experience.
Based on your experience, do people have a hesitancy to bring complaints against police officers?
Yes.
I don't know a foundation for that.
Sustained, I agree. I'm going to overrule myself. And with that being said, we're done. You got any more questions? You want us to come back tomorrow? Let's just come back tomorrow. See everybody at 9:30, all right? So you're not going to go when you're ready to go 9:30. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Knock on the door when you're ready to go as a group. Tomorrow will be our last day. We'll resume Monday. Hopefully I'll have the heat regulated tomorrow so it won't be so warm.
Hey, it's just my time of life, Judge.
What do you think?
It's his time of life.
Okay.
I hope we're all right. What did you get on?
Let's head up and talk.
I'll take it.
What's a recess? You guys can leave if you want. Yeah. You know what? Everybody's going to be out over here.
It's hot in here, okay? No, You know what, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna email her.
All right,
She
Jerry.
may not.
You know what? They're coming through here.
Okay, let them come. Beatty, wait a minute. Beatty. Hold on. No.